and I will start by doing the most appropriate thing for the start of a stream, which is cleaning my glasses, because they need cleaning. Little spritz. I got this this kit from Costco. There's 2 of these bottles. That's how much I've used out of this one so far, and that includes cleaning my displays and glasses. Yeah, I think I'll get through that one by the time I'm like 35, and then maybe the other one before I die. Oh, sorry, I forgot to close Thunderbird again. My apologies. Yeah, how's everybody doing? How's things? They look... Oh, that looks bad. Looks bad. Hello, Joe. How you doing? How's things? There we go. That's better. Right. Let's see again. How are we doing? I'm fine. Yeah. Alright. I mean, I'm still bleeding. Yeah. Had a naff day or two, but yeah. Busy as always. Hello, John. I'm out having a beer, just popped in to see if you've not perished. Keep doing that, mate. Enjoy. Have fun. I'll catch you, I assume, next week. Actually, as a very, very, very preemptive warning, on the... What was it? The 23rd of May, there won't be a stream. Like... Yeah, 23rd of May, I think it is. I can't double check without opening... Actually, no, hold on. I think it's in my calendar. That's the SMMT day. I will likely be home by 8, but my ability to stream will be near yes, 23rd. So yeah. Yeah. I'll see you in the VOD. Hope you're good. I'm yes. I'm very sorry, Joe. I've not been trained for this one. I hope you're okay. Not too bad. What a British answer. Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. I just died yesterday. What? Christ. Yeah, I hope you're okay, man. And, yeah. I don't really know how to move on from that either. I can talk about my stuff, but it feels bad to do so. Sorry, not trying to put a down on things, feeling a little thankful in a strange way too that I'm in a better place mentally. Just feeling a bit humbled is all. I mean, it's perfectly understandable that it's on your mind. But yeah. No, I wish you all the best. In a totally not distraction moving on from way, I don't know if you remember last week I was talking about I bought a fancy photodiode from Thor Labs and was doing a little bit of testing. Well, I've done some more testing and I've done a thing which is just solder it through one of the existing boards. And as you can see, I've been doing some other testing with it. Also, that bodgy ass capacitor is for testing. But I have a new idea, which is great. The concept, at least, is that So this photodiode, this fancy thing here, is an FDS 100 from Thor Labs. It's like 15 quid, and it, which is, 3 times what the current setup costs. And basically my intention and my plan is to basically make a new tool, but like a lot new, so that the Pro CS and the Pro Standard, so this is the original version of the Pro with the old chip. These are very similar. Like, technically speaking, I have changed. So I went from a single digital 8-way switch to control these 8 resistors. Move a bit closer, and you might actually be able to see these 8 resistors to 2 analog chips to control these surface mount resistors. But functionally, this is the same thing. Like, I took the board that would normally clip in here, and I basically put it on there myself. So those bits are all that, basically. I made it USB-C, all that fun stuff. But functionally, these do the same thing. Like, they have the same basic photodiode setup. It's the same amplifier. Like, the actual op amp that's in the middle there is a TSV 7721. So, like, it's all very similar. My plan here is to basically make a fairly different tool. And when I say fairly different, I mean different op amp, obviously different photodiode arrangements, possibly the same gain control, although I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll have to do some testing and have a think about it. It's gonna have a different microcontroller. It's the same type of microcontroller, but one with more pins and storage, actually. And I'm going to be using an external analog to digital converter. So the chip that I use here, which is a SAMD 51, is it that way? Or that way? I doubt it's going to focus on it very well. But that, the big black square one, that's the microcontroller, and that has a 1 megasample per second, actually 2 1 megasample per second analog to digital converters on it, but they're 12-bit, and also analog to digital converters that are built into microcontrollers are fine, but they could be better. So the plan is basically to use an external ADC, use a fancier, better, more expensive op amp, all that sort of stuff, in an effort to create what is essentially a lab grade tool. So right now, this is perfectly fine for hobbyists and reviewers and whatnot. Like, that's really what this is for people like me. But if you want to use this to like develop your monitors, which I have had a few companies ask about, this might not be at that level. So I'd like to make one, and the thing is that Thor Labs in particular, this photodiode, they sell this exact photodiode with a traceable calibration certificate for $150, so a 10x markup. Fair enough. And basically what my thinking is that I'll sell what I'm tentatively calling OSRTT Expert, because why not, as a device that anyone can buy. You don't really need it, but you can, with the same sort of like, you buy the thing, it uses the software, enjoy, it's open source, if you want to play with it, feel free, sort of philosophy. Or if you want, so realistically most monitor manufacturers will want custom test profiles custom, results custom, metrics, all that sort of stuff. And so for them, we can do a support contract where you get a tool for free. In fact, you get the fancier tool with the calibrated photo and everything for free. But it's a monthly support contract, where I will also do your like custom development for it. So that's the plan. So yeah. Hello, Jim. Also, sorry I went on a tirade for 10 minutes straight. But that's what I've been working on, especially this afternoon as I finished editing Monday's video, and had some time between then and dinner. Joe, how am I doing myself? I'm fine. Had a couple of bad days this week. For no particular reason, as far as I'm aware, which is the annoying thing. And yeah, otherwise, fine. Busy, as always. Hello, Luca. Welcome. Glad you made it. How's things? Probably someone wake essentialist. There we go. Yeah. Good. Awesome. Has there been any tech news this week? I feel like it's been pretty dead. No, I don't remember. Was it something about Apple and the EU? I do remember seeing, I think it was on the Linus Tech Tips subreddit, a screenshot of someone on Twitter being very upset that Apple is being forced to give them choices for what web browser to use when you set up. Like there's 2 extra screens, and that's bad. I can appreciate that a lot of people choose Apple phones because it is purposefully simplified. However, the notion that picking a web browser, especially because there are so many very well-known web browsers, like Safari, Chrome, even Firefox, that are all in that list, like, is that really a hardship that you do once? The 7900 GRE, were you impressed? Do you know, I actually kind of was, especially at the price point. As with everything, in fact, to analogize this to the review that I finished today and that you'll see on Monday for a curved VA 240 Hz 1440p 32-inch monitor. Curved VA looks great, like the color depth is amazing, the very deep blacks that you get is, you know, the beautiful, but the what you call it, for gaming probably sucks, right? Like, response times on VA are almost always awful, especially from the darker shades. Like, it's just kind of bad. But the problem is, or the benefit, I suppose, is that this monitor is ridiculously cheap. Like, it's 400 quid for a 32-inch 1440p 240 Hz monitor that's actually pretty good otherwise as well. Like, that's an amazing price. Like, 32-inch 1440p high refresh rate starts at 600 generally. So the fact that this one, even if it was 144, is 400, is still good. And then the fact that it's 240 is even better, right? So to analogize that back to the GRE, the price tag is what makes the difference. If it was at its original price tag of 650, then it's a lot less interesting, at least, you know, to me. But the fact that it's more like 550, like, it's basically, like, you can buy a 7800 XT that is overall, you know, has less cores and is generally a touch slower for more money than you can buy a 7900 GRE. Like, right? So the essentially, if you're gonna buy a 7800 XT, why buy the 7900 GRE? It's just a slightly faster core with the same VRAM and the same memory bus. Like, yes, if it had a wider memory bus, it likely would perform a lot better. The fact that the memory speed seems to be hard locked by AMD, I think it was like you can do 3% higher memory clocks or whatever, which obviously isn't much. But, like, first of all, the vast majority of people don't overclock their graphics cards, let alone overclock their graphics memory. And second, the card itself still performs pretty well, and at that price point, I am impressed by it. Yeah. Redline my car for the first time since it was mapped, and now first to second gear you get a crazy hard cut in dynamic mode, and the car does DSG farts, even as a manual. Nice. That's kind of interesting. Yeah. Hello Simon, hello Ish, and oh my Chris. How's everybody doing? How's things? What has everybody been up to? As I was saying at the start, I've been busy again. I did a thing. I stuck a fancy photo diode through a board. But it's working for testing, so that's profit to me. Playing Spider-Man Miles Morales because it's cheap. Also, Star Wars Battlefront 2 remake. Nice. I've been playing Helldivers. I'm doing well. Not been up to much. Damage reports. I'm still bloodletting, and what you call it? But otherwise, yeah, fine. Had a couple of bad days, depression-wise this week. For as far as I can tell, no reason. Like, just I think it was like Tuesday afternoon. I just started feeling like shit, and then Wednesday was bad, and today is less bad. Is that one diode better than the array of like 5 you had there before? So I have 6 now. But technically, yes, it's more sensitive. It's a what you might call a more refined photodiode. It does produce less less currents because there's just less effective area, but it is it should be a better choice for the sort of application that I'm planning on using it for. Also, if you missed the start, so the reason that I'm doing this is, while this is technically the non-working one, but like the current OSRTT Pro CS is perfectly fine for reviewers, hobbyists, you know, the vast majority of people who have any interest in having a response time tester, which I appreciate is a somewhat niche market. But I've had a couple of companies essentially reach out and ask about using the tool as like in monitor development, like to tune the overdrive modes and all that sort of stuff. And that is, while I am confident in my tools ability, there is a limit to what the somewhat hobbyist grade equipment that I have set up to use is capable of. And so my intention is to basically try and create a like lab grade type tool. So I'm using an external 16-bit 1 megasample ADC. I'm using this, fancy diode. And actually, one of the reasons why I'm using this specific one and not one that is technically slightly more suited to the application is because Thor Labs, the company who makes this photodiode, also sells a traceable calibrated photodiode that comes with the very fancy certificate version of this exact one. So if I can use this one to characterize its performance and make sure that it does actually work, when I go to then make a finished tool, but also a tool for your company in a more lab setting, I can use that traceable calibrated one, and that is an extra layer of, yeah, this is done right. This is a proper bit of kit. And my intention is to basically offer one of the sort of OSRTC expert boards with this non-calibrated photodiode for everyone. Whoever wants to buy one, you can have it. But then also offer essentially a service contract where you get one of the fancier boards, one of the ones with the traceable £150 photodiode, like calibrated photodiode, for free. But it's also a service contract where I will do all of the custom code, basically, and all the custom software specifically for you and your company and whatever test procedure and processing and whatever you need. So yeah, that's kind of the plan that I'm working towards. And in the theme of less bad, YouTube gave another 100 subs, only 0.2 to go. It's actually less than 0.2. It's 99,800 and in fact I can just look it up and tell you. 99,859. There you go. So 141 to go. Hello, Crazy Bureau. How you doing? Yeah, boy, getting recognition for the tool. Going mainstream. 2025 for the dedicated fab in Shenzhen to pump out them in pairs and pairs. Well, realistically, I don't think that I'm going to be selling like hundreds of them. Like, if I'm not selling hundreds of the cheap one, then I'm not selling hundreds of the expensive one. But yeah, I would like a dedicated production line, not necessarily for these, but I would like to be at a position where I can open a fab, well, say a production line with some pick and place machines in the UK, ideally for a wide selection of probably more like dev boards and breakout boards and stuff, kind of like Adafruit or SparkFun. Although I want to say that Pimeroni does make their stuff in the UK, like their my Enviro board that's dead, I think has disappeared. It might be over there. Yeah, maybe I could work with them for something, perhaps. Proudly built in Slough. Nothing is proudly built in Slough. Oh dear. Super close indeed, Joe. It should actually be this month. I'm currently getting about 300 or so a month. I think it was 332. Yeah. My car was built in Slough. That explains it. I live near Slough. It's the armpit of the M25. One of the key issues of the product is that once people have one, they don't need to buy another. Having more products for other testing is the key, but that will come in time. Yes, I mean, where is it? Which one has the sensor attached? So I tried making, this is just a very rough test for a color tool, like color calibrator tool. Yeah, that didn't work out because that sensor is a pain in the ass to deal with. So I haven't made much progress on that. But yeah, there has been a decent amount of reorders, I suppose, or multiple orders, both of buying like response times and then latency tools, but also if they had the original response time tool, the Pro is a pretty big step up from that, with some pros and cons, but it's a pretty big step up from that. So yeah. But yeah, if I had stuff like essentially dev boards, like this SparkFun one, this is one of their Silicon Labs Matter board. But if I was making stuff like this as well, this doesn't necessarily need, like, it's obviously work to create it, but then, you know, it's just for other people to make stuff with, rather than me making the entire thing. Like, I make the hardware, do all the testing to make sure that this hardware is exactly right for its use case, you know, and then I write the firmware for it, and then I write the software for it, and then I do all the, you know, fixing, manufacturing, that sort of stuff. Whereas those dev boards, it's very much, I make the thing, as long as it does what it's meant to do, it's up to the people who are using it to make their own stuff, to do the software and the rest of the hardware, you know, whatever. So yeah. How's the DIY room frame project progressing? Really enjoyed the video. It's actually working really well. I moved one of the legs, the leg that was by the window and by where the camera was. I moved it from so if well, technically it's that corner. So if it's that way, it was here. I moved it to here, so that it was more out of the way of the camera and myself. Would you be open to Steve from Gamers Nexus doing a review? I saw him doing a review of another lag sensor. He may remember you from the Hush Money thing. So I left a comment on their LDAT, or on their 4070 Ti or Super, whatever. One of their graphic card reviews, where they very specifically were talking about what you call it, using latency as a metric for stuff like graphics card reviews, because, you know, just talking about the what you call it, like FPS, when the FPS figures are 845 to 890, like, who cares? And so I've spoken to him on Discord, like, and I offered a tool for free, and they said, "Oh no, we'll pay for one. It's fine." And then they haven't bought one yet. And I don't have his current address because he moved, so I can't just send him one. So yeah, maybe I'll ping him again and see if he's interested. It was like 2 months ago now. It's probably longer. It was in January. Yeah. So yeah. But yes, I love that. One of my colleagues is currently trying to build an RFID card reader for both hex and decimal to save cash. Huh? You're gonna have to run that one by me again, Chris, because I know what all of the words are in the order you've written them. I don't know what they mean. Old phone slash screens can be made into small touchscreens, touchpads, like a USB driver. So I haven't seen that done before. The reason why it would be a difficult thing to do is that, unlike in let's say a monitor's case, the display is not driven by an external device on the board that you can then hijack, and it doesn't necessarily have a convenient port for you to, just take the screen off, plug a thing in, whatever. There are, so for example, some more common laptop displays, like the actual panels themselves, you can take the you can buy essentially a little PCB that plugs directly into the display's connector, and that allows you to then use it with HDMI or whatever you want. That can also include touchscreens generally, but the catch is that for phone screens, I don't know of anyone making those PCBs that have the driver chip on them, because you can't just drive the LCD directly. There needs to be an IC to do that. So yeah, I think, while technically possible, I haven't seen that done. And as for the phone as a whole, like if you just had an old phone, very few of them have HDMI in, essentially, through their USB port, which is kind of the problem. It would be really cool, but I think a lot of the display connectors, I think, are somewhat different as well, so you would need different driver boards for different displays, and I think that's the limitation. But yeah, it'd be cool. Follow-up video, perhaps. I think when I get around to doing the top-down camera mount, maybe. And I think, what was the? I had some other ideas for what I could do with it, but I've forgotten them all. I do kind of want to. I want to redo, like, get some new RGB strips for behind me. Well, behind me now. Nanoleaf has only just shipped a new controller for these, by the way. Like, seriously. Apparently they were out of stock. They were in stock when I pressed the order button. Anyway, yeah, so I want to get some new RGB strips that I can control a bit better. And ideally I would also have them be Zigbee or Matter controlled, because I already have the Elgato lights that I use, the one that's up on the now behind me and the one that's sort of in front of me, with a button on Home Assistant. It's the middle one there. So I already use that for turning those lights on, so it'd be really cool if the RGB lights would come on with that too. And then also my main video lights are just standard, like with a little remote control, and it would be pretty cool if those were also controllable. So I'm thinking of either doing a programmable radio or potentially replacing those, so then it might be a kind of mix that also includes doing some automation stuff with it. So yes, at some point you'll probably get a follow-up video to that, which will also include some more construction for the top-down mount, because it's not just going to be like a bolt-on, it's going to come down a bit. Yeah, I'll think about it. I enjoyed the video too. You did well considering the space and restraints you had. Lighting coming down made a huge difference. It really did. Like, I sat down to edit it and went, that's so much better. So yeah. Switched all of my ESXi servers to Zen, but having issues with one not booting, or set in BIOS mode and don't boot in UEFI. Can't work out what's wrong with them. The installer works and detects. I have used ESXi once, and I've never used Zen, so unfortunately I can't help you. Damn ads on YouTube. Oh yeah, the whole, even the conservative ad policy. Yeah, sorry, can't really do much. Should I get a Lighten flywheel from MG? Worth the £430 ish. It'll rev faster. £430, especially in your current financial state. No. You can pick up small touchscreens for super cheap nowadays, so no need to utilize a phone screen. They often connect via ribbon cables to a main board. Small monitors have USB, HDMI. The bare panels themselves, even on small monitors, like the actual bare panel still uses a ribbon cable, but they just have that driver board that lets you use them basically. But yes, you're right. Although it would be cool if you do have a load of old phones lying around to be able to use them as little touchscreens. I've had an idea. I might mod an old phone. I'll think about it. Where am I at? Would be amazing if all screens had a shared connector depending on size. That would be pretty cool. It seems like some generic BIOS setting caused it to fail to boot. That's not that surprising. What cameras do you use for your videos? Panasonic GH5 with the same lens that I've had since my Canon 100D. Yeah, and Sony RX 100 Mark V-A for all the high-speed stuff and anything more handheld. I would like to not necessarily replace the GH5. Replace is the wrong word. Supplement the GH5 with probably another like Panasonic Lumix S5 Mark II. I think is the one I was thinking about. As a more primary camera, and then the GH5 can do those overheads and sort of stay there. In an ideal world, I would have 3. I would have 1 probably even mounted to the lighting rig now, set up for all of the A-roll shots that I do, and just leave it there. Then 1 for B-roll and 1 that can stay above me for overheads. But I make at best the median wage in the UK before expenses, so I can't afford that. I have a few tiny PCs running Libra Elec for local streaming to my DVD and Blu-ray backups. They gave up and died recently, so now I'm considering replacing with an Android device. The ideal replacement is NVIDIA Shield, but they're so expensive. Any recommendations? If you just want for streaming, there are an awful lot of Android TV boxes and things like Roku's. Roku is possibly not the choice I would go with. Like, it's fine. I actually still use the Roku whatever it is. It's not the stick one, it's the one with an HDMI cable that they sent me years ago. But especially their move to that was one of the things this week. Roku patented basically the idea of hijacking an HDMI cable such that if you have a Roku TV, they can overlay ads, like their ads, during, like, when you pause your game, their ad pops up, and it's not like in your game, like it's not like you can dismiss it or anything, it just shows up. But yeah, so that's a thing. Although saying that, a lot of companies patent things that they have no immediate intention of using, so, you know, asterisk. But what was I going to say? But yeah, like, there are a lot of Android TV boxes. In fact, I just reviewed a BenQ projector that comes with an Android TV dongle that goes in a little cubby in the back of it, which actually I think is quite a cool feature. Essentially, it means that when that Android TV box, like, is out of, like, end of life, out of support, or just naff, you can replace it. And the projector, you know, because it's a DLP projector, like it's an LED DLP projector, it's not going to die anytime soon. And so you can then reuse that. Like, you can continue using the projector. Obviously, it still has 2 HDMI ports, so you could still use it otherwise anyway. But the fact that the smart stuff that's built in is not actually built in, it's just in a cubby in the back and you can replace it, I think is quite good. I like it. And so, as an example, that's not a great choice because it's very specific to BenQ and their projectors, but as a concept, there are plenty of Android TV boxes in general that I think would suit your needs. I mean, hell, even a Chromecast, I think, is basically an Android TV box now, so yeah. Roku ads overlay looks terribad. It does, doesn't it? Who was it? Was it Ford that patented the idea that you had to, like, actively say, like, a company's slogan for it to get, like, dismiss an ad and let you start your car or something? Like, insane like that. Looks like we're only to upgrade our Patreon support. I mean, if you want to, I will buy some cameras. I'm sure it was. I remember Ford and patent and bad idea, but I don't remember the exact bad idea. I'm so happy my TV is a dumb TV. I technically have a smart TV. My Hisense TV is technically smart TV, but it has not been connected to the internet for a while, and I don't intend it to. If Audi did that, the cars would never move. I mean, is that worse than BMW though? Any celebration plans when you hit 100k subs? I'm not really one for celebrating things. Like, I'm on the spectrum, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, the celebration that I have in mind is filling out the form to get my silver play button. And probably being quite excited on the next stream after it arrives. Also, I think at 100k I get to have my channel verified with a little tick. And so, you know, those are the things that I am like actively planning. Like I'm not really I'm not one to celebrate things. Like I don't celebrate my birthday as like a, you know, a me day. It's just an excuse to like hang out with friends and do fun stuff. You know, so like, yeah, I don't know. Chris, realistically, probably not. Yeah, it's look, Ish. I have been waiting for this. For 12 years. Back when they gave you an actual little metal thing. I will think about it, Chris. No promises. Yeah. There you go, Ish. Well, there you go. Ish found the link to the Ford patent. I'm just imagining thousands of angry Glaswegians now with their Fords that won't start because their cars won't understand what they're saying. 11. What you call it? That is a reference to a sketch from a comedy show, and it's two Glaswegian guys in a voice activated lift, where they're trying to go to floor 11, but the machine can't understand what they're saying. If someone can find the clip, that'd be great. Maybe stick it in the Discord. It's good fun. I think Andy got scared and removed it. Scared is the wrong word. I think I likely removed it if that was ever actually the case. No, I do remember something about Jar Jar in there. But yeah, scared would be the wrong. Nah. Oh god. I wanted to make it more sensible, and also because once YouTube membership started, I had to revise the scheme because I can't post the same video 3 times, one for public, one for members, and one for Patreon. So yeah. Did you see that Carl Thross has no presenters now? I did. In fact, I watched their launch video. So the main context here is that so Alex Kirsten of Auto Alex and formerly of Car Throttle left. Then what's his name? God, why have I forgotten their names? Not Ethan, that's the one that just left. Come on. Edwin. Right, that's it. Edwin also left relatively recently and started Top Dead Center with a former Car Throttle employee whose name I've already forgotten again. I'm terrible with names. Yes, TDC. And they basically were saying that Car Throttle has gone through a number of owners, basically. So there was the original owner, and I've forgotten his name too, uh, uh, um, who sold it to big media company. Big media company made Advan, thank you, made some changes and sounds like kind of made it a bit more difficult to work there and then Alex left, and then it was sold again. Apparently things got even harder, and they have now both Ethan and Jack have left to start their own channel. And so yeah, Car Throttle is left without presenters currently. They stopped giving them funding for projects and only wanted them to do high-end stuff or specific criteria. Basically, the bosses were clueless. I mean, yeah, the larger the company, the more that you tend to get like micromanaging bosses and bosses that want to make an impact without knowing anything, or just people that know nothing. So yeah. Am I going to Shedfest? I'm not. I tend to not leave the house. When is it? And where is it actually is probably the more pertinent question. I'm tempted to go to Shedfest. Nice. 4th of May. Is that for motorized sheds? I think the only one who could turn up to that would be Ed China. I'd like to go to Shedfest next year, actually. Fair. It's Kirkby Mallory. I don't know where that is. Wait, in Leicester? Oh. Oh. I read Mallory and was like, that's Mallory Park. Like, right? Like I've been there. I've done a supercar day there. Oh. Okay. Damn. All right. Maybe I will. I don't know. Was it 4th of May? I'll think about it. How much are tickets? Because let's face it, this face and this shirt ain't getting me a free one. Oh, decent then. Okay. It's not like 100 quid. How much does it take it to Goodwood these days? A lot, I think. I haven't been in a while. Oh, I'm quite far away, so I wonder. Rory, Alex won the divorce and he's taking on the kids. Oh, yeah. Goodwood is 70 to 130. There you go. You start getting free ones if you go enough times. Well, maybe. Hello, Harry. No worries. You're always welcome whenever you can. And yeah, it's not bad. I can show off my shitbox. So I did. I'm going in a. I will be driving my car a fair bit over the weekend, and so last weekend I've been putting off doing an oil change until I had better weather. Also, I've only done 4,000 miles on the current oil change. Like, doesn't need it. But so I did it this weekend or last weekend, and one of the other things is that Audi, in their infinite wisdom, makes everything a support brace. And so instead of my camshafts just being like in the top of the cylinder head with their own like cam caps, all of the cam caps are part of one big brace that's on top of the engine. And worse, it's actually connected on the outside as well. Like it's sealed on the outer edges of the block. So my cylinder head goes rocker cover or cam bridge, cylinder head, head gasket, block. Obviously V6, so there's two of them. Both of those cam bridges are leaking, like not a huge amount, but a little bit, and it's annoying. And so I have I cannot take those cam bridges off with the engine in the car, or at very least with the gearbox in the car, and I don't have a lift or enough space and time and physical health to take my gearbox out just so that I can fix this thing. So what I want to do, or what I have done, is we took the cam covers off, rock covers off, and basically put the correct RTV, the Rhines Seal high temperature, like the stuff you would use if you took it off and then put new stuff on, to basically seal up the outer edge so that oil can't leak out as easily. Annoyingly, so we then did an oil change afterwards, and we took out let's say 6.5 liters. I've put 7 liters in and it's still not at the max. I did take the under tray back off, and I found that the sump plug was weeping ever so slightly. I did use a new crush washer, but you know, tiny bit of dirt, whatever. So I tightened it up a touch more, and yeah, hopefully that does it. I always have another liter in my under my boot floor anyway, so you can always top up if needed. But yeah, I might be going for dropping the car off at a specialist to get new timing chains and new valve cover or cam bridge resealed sooner than I would like. Although in the next week next couple weeks, I'll probably be doing that supercharger core exchange, and also a bit of carbon cleaning on the valves because it's direct injection and those get dirty, very dirty. I went to a good one at the British Museum the other day, going back again for the Ultimate German Car Meet on the 26th. Nice. My shitbox has a fuel leak currently. My King Charles sausage fingers keep hitting the spacebar. Nice. Fuel leak bad though. You should get that sorted. Get some PTFE tape. Oh, I have a lot of PTFE tape, but it wouldn't stick on the inside. I have enough that I top up enough that the oil is almost fresh. BC-ish your oil. I've got wrapping paper on my boot floor. I did carbon cleaning and mine was clean. Nice. I mean, technically my back two valves are actually quite clean, but that's only because the supercharger's intercoolers have been leaking onto them, and it's been steam cleaning them. Yeah, the front one's less clean. I've done more than 12k since my last service, but the oil has been done more recently because of the decoking operation that took place. Nice. The leaks preserve the stuff in your engine bay longer. Yeah, it's leaking onto the oil, onto the exhaust manifold bolt. So if I ever need to take the exhaust manifold off, I'm going to be in very good stead to get the top ones, which are the easiest. Roig will not work for that. No. Top up, I had to refill the sump every 2 weeks in my old car. That's not good. Would not recommend that as a requirement. I'm gonna get the coolant flushed and changed, and also my oil soon too. Remind me. Fair, nice. I actually won't be. Technically, you're meant to like flush all the coolant out to take the supercharger off because the supercharger's coolant fed, but no. I shouldn't need to. Is the key thing. Because I've done it before and I didn't need to then. Finally, we'll get another servers recorded in the Audi database though. Nice. Mine has not been to Audi in my ownership, and it won't be probably ever again. I'm still trying to get the clutch change in my MG. It's only been months. What are you missing? Since being modded, I imagine the main dealer won't touch. True. Probably not. Don't ask how much 5 people at Silverstone was last year. Used money from selling our house to go. Jesus Christ, man. Oh, dear. What you like. Also, I did see your point about that money isn't a problem. You got a new credit card. No, bad. I've learned how to do the tuning now, reading eco and modifying, flashing, etc. Different ECUs and methods for the cars. Nice. I actually set up a new laptop for diagnostics. It's just a cheap old Lenovo that my friend Daniel acquired for me. Yeah, I've been meaning to do it for a while, but I finally actually did it with some spare time yesterday, I think. Put an old M.2 SSD in and installed Windows and then installed VCDS. I do want to also get ETK and Elsewin installed. I have a VM for them, but ETK is the parts catalog for Audi VW, and Elsewin is the service manuals that tell you what to do to replace stuff. There is what's that, NGMI parts or something that is basically ETKA but online, which I use, but it'd be nice to have the proper one. Although Elsewin has been quite invaluable. There's Android apps to do that now? Oh! You'll have to tell me which ones, because that would be helpful. Hello Simon, how you doing? The biggest issue is it doesn't blow smoke, it doesn't leave oil puddles either. The mystery of where it goes. That is a mystery indeed. Blank, is the 4070 worth it, or should I buy 4060 Ti with 16GB VRAM? Good question. So I did a video comparing the 7600 to the 7600 XT, which is functionally the same card, just with 16GB VRAM. Specifically looking at the performance of the VRAM usage, and there really wasn't much of any difference even at 1440p. So personally I would say probably get the 4070 because it's a faster core. That's 8GB of VRAM, isn't it? Is that 10? 8 isn't ideal, it's not super future-proof, but realistically by the time that you need more than 8, you will likely want to upgrade the core anyway, which was the point of that video. Feel free to check it out, because it's probably going to be relevant. The housing for the starter motor interferes with the transmission tunnel, so I had to Dremel off the prop shaft and get new bolts. But I'll get a new flywheel with a lovely 20 months of zero interest. What's wrong with you? I'm not sure. Maybe dealer only is my mechanic who works for Audi VW has them. Then no. The big issue had their servers broken into and some user data stolen of some staff. Oh, interesting. That's bad because I'm pretty sure all the staff are, well, the on the street staff, at least, are not normally in good financial positions, let's say. What's wrong with my apprentice wage? Your means where you live. Yeah. I think. Yeah, but it's a bit grim in it. 3 cars on 15k is not above my means, I swear. Yeah, sure. I think I'm gonna call it there. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I hope you all stay safe. I hope you all have fun. And yeah, I hope you all have a good week. And I'll catch you next week for a stream. And obviously tomorrow for a video, Monday for a video. Right. Jay, absolutely no problem. Glad to have unwittingly helped. I'll catch you guys later, or next week.